Hey friends, I hope you're doing well. This is Eric Mobley with another video. So I have another mental health video for you, and this is on another medication that I have been taking for over a year, a little over a year, about a year and a half. And it is Buspar, which is previously the name brand. I think it is now only like the drug or the generic name, which is Buspirone. So that is what I've titled this video because I don't think Buspar is really like a thing anymore based on what I know. And I know my doctor, when she prescribed it, she just called it Buspirone. So, but I was put on Buspirone because I increased my dosage of Wellbutrin, and she knew that the side effects would include anxiety, and that was definitely true. I had increased anxiety, insomnia. I increased my dosage, so that is kind of expected whenever you increase the dose of a medication. So she prescribed it with the 450 of Wellbutrin that I was taking, but she kind of said, like, don't start taking this unless you feel anxious or, you know, you're getting anxiety or having anxiety, whatever. So I started on 5 milligrams, and I initially didn't take it, but like I say, I've said before, but I am pretty tolerant of medication. I've never really had terrible side effects, or like a bad reaction to the medication, anything like that. Yes, side effects, but that's just kind of expected, especially with antidepressants or mental health medications. But I think after like the first few days, I don't think I necessarily noticed anxiety, but I think I had a day where I was a little more anxious. I was like, okay, let me try one of these and see if it works. So, Buspirone, you do have to take like 2 or 3 times a day, depending on what your doctor prescribes. And I started out on 5 milligrams twice a day, so 10 milligrams a day. And I kept taking them because I discovered that it did work and it was necessary, you know, for my anxiety. And it just kind of like keeps you calm, in my opinion. Not like, I mean, you can still be anxious, absolutely, but it kind of gives you like a calm attitude in nature, which is really good. But like, I'm also on a high blood pressure medicine, and but that doesn't necessarily keep you calm. Excuse me. But yes. So I was on the 5 milligrams twice a day for about 4 months. And then after 4 months, I had a pretty bad panic attack. It came out of nowhere. I didn't necessarily have a reason. Like, I maybe had things that like triggered it, but nothing that was like came to mind immediately. So I increased my dosage to 10 milligrams twice a day, so 20 milligrams a day. And I did notice that did help. I didn't really have many panic attacks anymore, and it was helpful. And I believe I've talked about this in my first video or something like that, my first video on mental health. I was doing okay on it. You know, of course, you're gonna have anxiety. I had anxiety here and there, for sure, like almost all the time, whatever. But I noticed actually in January of 2025, really before that, but I just had some things going on in my life and triggers, and I wasn't sleeping well, and I was just not having a good experience overall. My anxiety was like affecting my day-to-day life. I started going back to therapy. I started journaling. I still want to do a video on journaling. And I was like, after a while, like I had noticed it for a couple of months, but then like for 2 weeks straight, I was having trouble sleeping and constantly thinking about things. So I felt like the Buspirone wasn't working anymore. So I scheduled a doctor's appointment, it was early February of 2025, last month, and I had told him I felt like the Buspirone wasn't working, but he increased the Buspirone to 10 milligrams 3 times a day, so 30 milligrams a day. But he also added Lexapro, which I will do another video on. But I will say overall, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not as anxious as I was. I'm more calm. I'm sleeping a lot better. And he did prescribe an as needed, I probably won't do a video on this one because I've only taken it a couple of times, but he prescribed an as needed anxiety medication, and that is hydroxyzine. And that is actually like a really common as needed anxiety medication for like panic attacks and just really bad anxiety in general. It's also good for insomnia. I did have a couple of nights where I either thought I wasn't going to sleep well, or in the middle of the night, if I couldn't go back to sleep after like a couple hours, I would take one to go back to sleep because it is sedating. It does make you go to sleep. So that's just a little bit about hydroxyzine. But I only take that as needed. Like I say, I've been on this new dosage of Buspirone and Lexapro together for 6 weeks, and I've only used it twice. So just keep that in mind. And it was mainly for insomnia, to help me sleep. But overall, I have been sleeping better. I'm a little more calm, more than a little, I'm more calm. I'm allowing myself to get some self-care, relax, take a breather if I need to. I think sometimes I do overwhelm myself with things, and I've just learned to not do that as much, and journaling has helped as well. But as far as side effects with Buspar or Buspirone goes, I did not really experience any side effects. I know I had friends and family members who... Oh, my laundry's done, sorry. I'm gonna wait till that's done. It's almost done. Okay. I know I had friends and family members who had side effects like dizziness and lightheaded. But I expected that because I had heard so many people and watched a few videos on it, but I did not experience any dizziness, lightheadedness. Like I say, I think I just tolerate medication pretty well, but overall I didn't have any side effects in my personal opinion. There were some days or still are, maybe sometimes, where I just wondered if it was really working or if it was really necessary to be on it. That's why I went to my doctor to see, like, do I still need to take this? So, but overall, it is still going well. I'm feeling a lot better with my anxiety. And, I just hope to continue on this journey, and I hope you find this helpful if you are on Buspirone or any of the medications that I've talked about in past videos or this video or in future videos. I hope they're very helpful for you because I know mental health is so important. Very important to me. I've struggled with mental health so much in the last few years, and I feel like I'm finally in a pretty good place. And that is mainly due to medication and therapy, which there's nothing wrong with that. So, but I hope you found this helpful. Again, with the side effects, did not affect my appetite, did not affect my libido. I'm a social drinker, so it didn't really have any effect with like alcohol. Of course, you want to be careful no matter what. Like, you don't want to really overdo it and have like a seizure or serotonin syndrome or something like that. But, just take it easy. But overall, I have had a good experience with Buspirone, and I hope you found this helpful. I would love it if you would like this video and subscribe, because I will have more content on mental health and these types of content, or these types of topics in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to know in the comments, like, have you taken Buspirone? Are you on Buspirone? Are you about to take Buspirone? How are you feeling? And what has your experience been? Please let me know in the comments. I love reading your experiences. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.